Hi there, Darren.
Alright, sweetheart.
Hi everybody. Welcome to Big OGGIE World. Welcome to Kelly's Kitchen in Big OGGIE World. And today we are going to make a traditional Welsh stew.
We are.
I believe it's a Welsh national dish. And it's called Cawl.
As in towel, or cawl, as in not towel.
Well, I saw a video earlier of a Welsh person making it and they called it Cawl. But yeah, each to your own. If you're in Wales, you'll probably be able to tell us. It's either Cawl or Cawl, but I don't speak Welsh. Not yet. I'm thinking of doing it though, learning how to speak Welsh. So, like most regional areas of the country, there are various different stews. We've done an Irish stew.
We have.
We've done a Scotch broth. We've done all these kind of things. So we're going to do the Welsh version. Originally about a 14th century peasant dish, I believe. With
Well,
any ingredients.
yeah, peasant. I don't think so now.
Well, no. You can use bacon in this. You can use beef in it. Any cheap cuts of meat. Mostly traditionally it would be lamb, which is why it's now not exactly the cheapest thing.
No, it is not.
But we are going to go as traditional as we can. We are going to use lamb. We're going to use neck of lamb on the bone. Okay, on the bone neck of lamb, which we got from our butcher because you can't really get it in supermarkets.
Can't get it in the supermarket now.
Even the butcher, we had to wait a few days for them to get another lamb in, I believe. They think you said they normally cut all the meat out.
Well, he said what they do when they get the lambs in is they cut obviously the neck off and they bone it all out and then use all the bits of the meat that's on the neck for diced lamb.
Right, okay.
Which again you would use for a stew.
And you can do it for this as well if you want to, it's just easier. The reason we're using on the bone is because there's no actual stock cubes or anything in this. Traditionally you are just going to put the meat into water. So you want the bits on the bone because that's where all your flavour is.
Yeah.
All the gelatinous stuff and the sinews and everything else is going to be low, slow cook on the hob. And that's where you're going to get all your flavour. So all we're doing at the moment, we're just prepping some stuff. The ingredients will be listed below. Predominantly though it's carrots, swede, parsnips, potato, onion and turnip, which we have got a turnip.
Onion leek.
Oh, and of course because it's Welsh, leeks.
Yeah.
But the leeks don't go in until later.
No.
So we're going to prep the veg and then we'll come back and tell you what to do next. So we're currently prepping our veg. I've chopped all your onions up in nice big chunky pieces.
Thank you.
The only veg we haven't prepared at the moment is the leeks because they don't go until quite late in the stew. What you're doing though is you're coring out your parsnips. This is just a personal thing. You like taking the woody bits out of the parsnip, don't you?
Yeah.
The other thing is, and I've seen this on various comments and I know this from stews and things we've made before and even for roast dinners, this is kind of a winter thing. Really, this stew, most stews are kind of wintry and it's always good if you can get parsnips after the frost has happened.
Because they make coring so much easier and
Well,
these are a nightmare.
Yeah, it does kind of soften it up. The problem around here is we don't get heavy frosts.
No.
So, you know.
But then I don't think we grow parsnips around here
Probably
either.
not. And we do a lot of swede.
Swede, yeah.
Yeah, swede and cauliflower, etc. So later on in the year it will taste better. The parsnips will taste sweeter. But we're pretty much there. Nice big chunky pieces. Okay, chunky carrots, chunky. This is the turnip we've done. Now turnip's an acquired taste. So again.
And it is turnip. This is swede.
Or in this, although in Cornwall we call that a turnip.
But
it's
this
swede. This is turnip.
Is turnip. It's a white
little white turnip, white and purple top.
And that is a swede.
Okay, so if you don't want actual turnip in your cawl, soup, stew,
leave it out.
Leave it out. It's always a personal thing.
It's just a little bit bitter, which is why I've cut it into smaller sized pieces.
Hopefully it'll kind of dissolve away.
Well,
or you can spot it.
It's just not such a gobful of...
an acquired flavour is the answer to that. The same with all stews and soups and everything. They inherently came from people who didn't have a lot. So you use whatever you got in the countryside and whatever came to hand. Obviously, some years ago, turnips were very popular. Not so much now. But that's fine. So once we've done all the veg, we're going to, not controversially, we're going to be slightly chefy. We're going to brown our meat.
Yeah.
Now, again, I'm sure some Welsh people out there are going to have discussions about this. When you do your own normal stew, you don't brown your meat. You put it straight into your
beef, no.
stuff. But browning the meat will give some extra flavour, and as there's no actual stock cubes or flavour enhancers, be it beef stew or consomme or anything else, it's probably best to try and give some extra flavour into the stock itself, and the best way of doing that is to just brown your meat off a little bit. So we're not going to show you us doing that, we'll show you a picture of us doing it, but we're not going to film it. You've seen it happen so many times recently, whether you've been doing chicken or everything else. You're just frying off your meat until it gets a little bit golden edges to it. Right then, darling, so your meat's all nicely browned now.
I have seared.
You have?
Some. I've not gone to town on it.
Just going to try and get a little picture if I can. Kettle's boiling in the background just to get a bit more water. So there you go. Fat's all nicely browned off on it anyway, that's good.
Yeah, we've got a nice bit of yummy stuff on the bottom of the pan.
Yep, that's all we need.
So, I am going to season my meat now. A little bit of salt.
And the pepper.
Some pepper.
Black pepper's fine.
This is mixed, but
right, it's
only
mixed,
because I couldn't get black.
Lovely.
Right, then we're going to add our water.
Yeah, all the recipes I've seen are basically saying 2 litres, but to be honest, you've got to cover your veg, haven't you?
You've got to cover your veg and you've got to cover your meat. Otherwise, it's not going to cook, is it?
We're using boiling water just to give it a bit of a start.
If you use boiling water, it will save on your energy
Save on
consumption.
the energy to get it up from a freezing cold temperature, yeah. I'm pretty sure our kettle's about 1 litre from
our kettle, this kettle is 1.5 litres.
Well, there you go.
So we've got about 2.5 litres in there.
That's fine. So, to that, we now add all the veg, or most of the veg.
But before I do that, what I'm going to do is get a spoon and just scrape the bottom of the
scrape
pan.
the bottom of the pan, okay.
To get the nice bits of juices off, because I don't want them to stick to the bottom. I want them to go into the...
Well, they're part of the flavouring of the,
yeah.
of the whole stock, I guess. I have looked up, if this was... Now, I'm going to get into trouble again now, I bet you. If this was kind of Liverpool area, this would be lobscouse.
Right.
So it says on the recipes. I don't know. I've not come from Liverpool, but I'm sure someone will tell me. But again, it's just another regional stew.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So into that then, we are going to add our veggies.
Yep.
Yeah. So, carrots.
Carrots, yep.
Big and chunky.
Big and chunky. Everything's big and chunky. And I really think this is very much like an Irish stew, where it's all a big white stew with big large pieces. That's the turnip going in.
That's turnip.
But there's more types of veg in this than the Irish one, that's all.
Swedes going in.
Have you got a bay leaf, love?
Oh, I didn't get bay leaf
I'll
out.
get you a bay leaf in a second.
In goes this. Ouch. It's hot.
That's hot, that pan, darling. Yeah, you've got short arms, like a little T-Rex, haven't you?
There we go.
There you go.
Trying to chuck the parsnips in for
Yep,
me.
and then the parsnips go in as well. Perfect.
There we go. Now I'm going to put this in.
And you've got onions.
Oh yeah, my onions.
Don't forget the onions, love. I chopped them. I cried my way through them. So, 1 large onion chopped up again, chunky, because this is a long, slow cook. There we go.
Right. Now,
okay.
We're going to add a bay leaf.
We are, yep. And we're going to add a...
And then in a little while, I'd say probably we'll give it an hour.
Yeah, get some of the veg softened down a little bit.
Starting to go. And then we are going to take a bunch of flat leaf parsley. But what I'm going to do, not all this is a massive bag. So I'm going to probably take about half of this. I'm going to cut the stalks off.
Yeah, just
tie them up with a piece of string and pop them in. And then when we serve, we'll chop up the parsley to serve on the top.
Okay, yeah, it's just another flavouring, to be honest. So we've got to put a bay leaf in, obviously. In about an hour's time, you're going to pop the potato in as well?
Yeah, I'll leave the potato for a little while just to get the rest of it starting to go.
Okay.
The idea with the potato as well is that potatoes will thicken it.
Yeah, that's the pan. It adds more starch to the whole
pan.
Soup, I guess, really. So, what will also happen with this now is there'll be a scum starting to appear. Well, we call it a scum, but it's stuff on the top.
We just skim it off.
Just skim it off. Yeah, skim it off. Take a
Get
jug or a spoon and
just
just
skim
take
it
it
off.
Okay.
The other thing that's going to happen when you've cooked it, because this should be eaten the day after you've prepared it.
We're making this for tomorrow. This is Sunday as we're making this. We're going to eat this tomorrow, Monday evening for our dinner.
So once this is cooled this evening, because it's lamb, although I have to say the lamb is very lean.
Pretty lean, yeah.
They don't seem to have fatty animals like they used to.
Fatty animals anymore.
But it's quite likely that we will have lamb fat on the top.
Yeah, which we'll deal with that tomorrow.
Really
we'll explain that to you tomorrow when we show that part of the video.
Hopefully, because it's going to cool overnight, it will solidify and it'll make it really easy to take off.
Now the other thing, obviously, we've said before is leeks need to go in this as well.
But
they don't go in till near the end.
Yeah.
So this is going to go. We're going to bring this to the boil and then bring it to a low simmer, and then it's going to be sitting on the hob for about 3 hours. So about an hour in, we're going to put the potatoes in and the parsley, and then we'll say about 2 hours, just over 2 hours, we're then going to put the leeks in, maybe, or is it for a half an hour to go, you think?
Probably what we'll do, because we're not eating it until tomorrow, we're going to cut the leeks in rings. We're not going to slice
again, they're
it,
in
they're
chunks
in
as well.
chunks.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is just before we're ready to turn it off and let it sort of cool down for the night, we'll put the leeks in.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
Just leave it on the hob.
Put the lid on it, but turn it off, and then the leeks will cook in the residual heat. Plus, then you're going to reheat it tomorrow, so they'll be absolutely cooked.
If you were cooking this in the morning, ready for tonight, or if you're cooking this in lunchtime, because you can eat it the same day,
absolutely.
you'd be putting the leeks in about let's say half an hour to an hour before you actually finish it. But the way to do this now, because we're going to put this in or cool this down for tomorrow, is we'll put them in near the very end.
Yeah.
Put the lid on, let it go cold. They'll cook in the residual heat, and then we'll re-warm it again tomorrow, and they'll be perfect. So that goes on the heat. Going to bring it to a boil. If there's any scum, we'll deal with that, and then we'll let it simmer away for 3 hours.
We will show you pictures as we go along.
We will do. See you a bit later. In fact, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye for now.
Hi darling, welcome back to day 2.
This is day 2 of the stew. Well,
of the
not
stew.
the stew. Is it stew? I don't know if
it is a stew. It's a white stew, isn't it?
And it is white, as you can see.
Yeah. There was very little fat, I will tell you, because I've been here this afternoon. There was very little fat to come off. It had all been sorted anyway.
I did skim a bit yesterday, but like I said, it was very lean. There's hardly any in it anymore. So
I reduced it down a bit, as you can see from the edge of the saucepan.
Definitely needed reducing down.
Yeah.
Smells delicious now. Vegetables are as soft as soft. We're going to try and get some out, but quite frankly,
it could all just fall apart.
Yeah. I'm quite expecting the meat just to fall, or the meat to fall off the bone. So I'll do my best, and we'll see what we can do.
It's not the prettiest thing. It's a stew.
It's a stew.
I've seen pictures of this where they take all the meat out of the stew, and then they take the meat apart off the bones, and then they just add it later. In the old days, you wouldn't have even added it, so you probably even just had it as an extra meal.
Yeah.
I've seen some chefy ones manage to actually take a whole neck of lamb and put it on top. So it's just the way it is. We're serving it the traditional way with bread and cheese.
I found the bay leaf.
Oh, well done. I couldn't get any Caerphilly cheese because we're just not in the area, and it's very tricky to find. I did try and get some from Waitrose the other day on the way back from playing golf, but they didn't have it. So if you can't get Caerphilly, which is fair enough, it's quite a difficult regional one to get at times, use a decent cheddar and you'll be fine.
This is literally falling off the bone.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to get Kelly to serve this up. I will show you a picture at the end. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, please hit the notification bell. Come and join me on Big Eye Golf, Kelly and I here on Big Eye World, and tell your friends. Lots of wholesome food, and sometimes a little bit more wacky than others. It's Cawl, isn't it, love? Cawl.
Cawl, something like that.
It's one of them, yeah. And someone teach us Welsh.
There you go.